Hi. It's probably going to take a little bit for some people to get in here. So we're going to wait before I get started. Henry's in the room going like this. Woo! Hi. Welcome to Libra season, Melissa. You might be the only person that joins me. I don't even know if this is going to happen. It was like such a last minute thing. Well, at least you'll learn how to cook, how to make these. That's really funny. At the right time, you just happen to look at it. It will not be wasted. Well, and I haven't done a live in years. I was just telling Henry that I haven't done a live in years. So people just don't expect me to just jump on YouTube. But I want to start doing them more often. And hopefully we'll have the energy to do them more often. So yeah, welcome. Oh, I have both Melissas here. That's awesome. Hi, Miss Helton. I hope you're doing well. Oh, awesome. I'm going to have to call you guys by your last names, Moser and Helton. It's the Melissa show. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab the cards now so we can start doing a little bit of that too. Give me 1 second. Can you guys hear me okay? Just out of curiosity, and hit that thumbs up button too if you could for me. You know a lot of Melissas. Nice. I am doing well, Melissa Helton. I have good days and bad days still, but yeah, I'm doing really well. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. All right. I think that it's a little bit lacking on my side. So if I answer your questions way later, that might be why. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. I thought maybe it would be a perfect time when the weather is starting to get a little bit colder. But today I'm going to show you guys how I make Henry's favorite dinner rolls. I just want to give you a little background about my Henry. He kind of has a sweet tooth, and he loves bread, loves bread. I barely eat any bread around here anymore, and I make bread for him because he loves it so much. So I also decided I wanted him to start eating a little healthier bread. This is not that roll. This is not the really healthy roll bread dinner roll that we're talking about. This is the full fat, full butter, full anything. Yeah, it has tons of gluten in it. It's so funny because when I even mentioned that I was going to be doing this in one of my readings, I don't remember which one. And the gluten police came at me, and I was like, listen, I understand not everybody can do gluten. I actually don't do a whole bunch of gluten anymore either. So I get it, but that doesn't mean that I cannot do this for my man. So that's what I'm going to teach you guys today, because they're delicious and they're full of fat and they're full of all of the good stuff that we all want. And then another time we'll do something like sourdough bread is a lot more nutritious. And I have that starter, the sourdough starter, and we can do that another time. But today is not that day. Today we're going to do full fat. Okay, so the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to give you all of the ingredients. And I would suggest that if you're interested also in baking this, you can do this with me if you want, or you can write it all down and do it by yourself. So what you're going to need is 4 to 5 cups of all-purpose flour. I have a very large bowl with 4 to 5 cups all-purpose flour. This is not the no gluten flour, because we're going to be, the funny thing is I'll teach you guys some things here too. Like the gluten comes from kneading on the bread. So the more you knead the bread and the more you let it rest, like the more you knead through it, it makes more glutens. It can, I don't know the exact science process. Hi, Leslie. So good to have you here. Thanks for saying hi. Oh, wow. Baking and Tarot. Hi, EAA18. Awesome. So good to have you guys here. So 4 to 5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of instant yeast. I'm not a promoter of brands. I don't really do that. I used to do that a lot, and I just kind of feel like pick your own brand, pick the things that work for you. But I use the Fleshman's Active Dry yeast, instant. It's the original kind. That's the kind that I use. We're going to use half a cup of sugar. I try to be healthy with my sugar and use cane sugar. That is not healthy. Even cane sugar isn't the healthiest for you. So like I said, half a cup of sugar in some rolls is not necessarily the healthiest roll, but it's delicious. 2 teaspoons of salt. I use kosher salt in my rolls. And with kosher salt, I usually, like the original recipe before I made it my own, it called for 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And I tried that and it was really bland. And so I doubled it, and sometimes I'll even like over pour on my, you can never, like yes, you can overdo salt. Obviously you can overdo salt, but salt is a very important, I feel like a lot of people like underdo their salt intake when they're doing baking. So I use 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1.5 cups of milk I have right here. We drink whole milk, full fat, everything around here. We have whipping cream, whole fat, everything around here. So this is whole milk. You can use skim milk if you don't want the full fat. You can use whatever percentage of milk you want. Warm it up to between 110 and 120 degrees. Mine, I just got finished warming up, and my thermometer is like, I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not, right in between the 110 and the 120 mark. So we'll set that aside. 6 tablespoons of butter at room temperature. I keep my butter on the counter because I like real butter. I'm not a margarine person. I grew up eating margarine, and like, great, you can spread it, but you can also spread real butter on bread too when you keep it on the counter. So I keep it in my little butter thing. And so we get 6 tablespoons of room temperature butter, 1 large egg, and then we'll have 2 extra tablespoons of melted butter for at the end when you get the rolls out of the oven. So who else has joined us? Hi, Les. Oh, I know. Well, and usually, and that's because it's all fresh too. Like, that's the thing. I'm French. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like a quarter French. So I do, and my family, like I come from a long line of bakers. And so I like make things up when I'm baking. Everybody's like, baking is a science. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to make things up. But I realized that I started doing things the French way, like leaving my butter on the counter and leaving my, putting the bread. Like I really want to get like a bread storage thing so I can keep my bread out and, all of that. Room temperature, room temperature. Oh, it's Emmanuel. Hi. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, like if like I would love to be able to get like raw sourced things. I'm still looking for a farm that I can do that because I think that that's the best for you. All the things that are raw sourced from the farm and you know where it's coming from. But we try and do our best to get like organic and not, like cage raised animals and all that stuff. So, because when you're sensitive energetically, Henry and I both, I mean, you guys know how I am, but Henry is too. He's like literally the same kind of sensitivity, if not more than me some days. And, so we have to really be extra careful about the energy we're consuming. You guys, I mean, like people don't often think about that. So, all right. So we're going to go through, I'm going to put all of the stuff together and then we're going to have these rolls rise twice. And during those rising times, it'll be about 30 to 45 minutes. You guys can come and go. Like it's not going to hurt my feelings if you don't stay the whole time. But in between the rising or like while the dough is rising, we are going to do cards. And I'll probably take some questions and stuff too. Donations are way open if you would like to donate either here or you can donate to our PayPal, Venmo. It's the Wildlove Paradise Foundation @gmail.com. I know that that's a really long, let me see here if I have to come around to type it because I don't have my little keyboard thingy. Here, let's do this. So PayPal. If you guys want to save that or whatever, however you want to do it. I'm not asking for money for readings, but it would be really sweet of everybody if you could do the donation. So, but you don't have to. So yeah, let's get started. We're going to start with getting the yeast ready. So you're going to have a bowl and we're going to take our milk that is in between the 110 and 120 degrees. Add that to the bowl. Hold on, I forgot mixers. And we will add our yeast. We're going to have 2 tablespoons of active. Wow, I think it's just the rest of this. I think just pour the rest of it in there. That's how much I think we just bought this like a month ago. Oops. And we're going to add the sugar. So we have the yeast and the milk and the sugar together. And then we're going to let this sit and rise for about 15 minutes. Stir it all around, get it all in there. It'll be all frothy on the top. It'll be like 5 to 15. Sometimes you don't have to go the full 15 minutes. But I'll show you guys what that looks like after it's all nice and risen. And while we're waiting for that, we will add 3 cups of flour. And I'm using organic all-purpose flour. Use whatever you want to use. And we're going to put it, you can do this without a mixer. Believe it or not, people actually did this without mixers 100 years ago. So you can do this without mixers. But when I first started making bread this year, I did it without a mixer, and it kind of killed my arms for a while. So it'll give you good muscles, that's for sure. 3 cups of sugar, 3 cups of flour. Okay. And the 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to eye it because I know what 6 tablespoons of butter looks like. It's like 3/4, oh wow, 3/4 of a stick of butter. I can't stand the feeling of greasy butter on my hands. I just can't stand it. And we will add the salt. Two teaspoons kosher salt. If you're using regular, I'm going to add just a little more. If you're using regular salt, probably just 1 teaspoon, like table salt would be 1 teaspoon, I think. Probably. Ambrose, hi. Thanks for being here. I am having a lovely weekend, actually. And then we have the room temperature large egg. It's getting bubbly. It's starting to foam up. What am I missing? Nothing. Okay. We're going to start mixing this a little. You said, Melissa said something. Oh, the shelves are empty that's a bummer. Oh yeah, this kitchen, Melissa Moser, this kitchen is amazing. So I'm just going to do this on low just to kind of get everything in here mixed together. And then we're going to add the yeast mix. While this is going on low, I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I have for the pan that we're going to be cooking the rolls in, because I like to use parchment paper instead of just spraying the pan. I like to put parchment paper down. It's just, I don't know, it's just easier, and I think it's healthier. But what I do, there's a trick to keep the parchment paper from like moving all. I don't know if you guys have ever worked with parchment paper, but it can get really annoying. So I will spray coconut oil, cooking oil all over the pan. Sorry, that's all loud probably. And then the paper magically sticks everywhere. I know people that like to cut the parchment paper and stuff too. It is really, it's only on the first level though, but I just got it. It was a birthday present. Okay. Okay, So now this is all nice and foamy. So it really was only like 5 minutes. It was nice and foamy. We're going to add that to the mixture of the flour and the egg and the butter. Let's get this. Make sure we get it all. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get messy. That's why I have a really generic tank top on, because I get really messy with it. I'm not a professional baker. Let's just get this straight. Not a professional baker. I make large messes in my kitchen and on myself all the time. It's probably more of a comedy show, actually, to watch this baking. Okay. Let's get the sides. Make sure your sides are clear. Pop it back down, get it back on low, and make sure everything gets nice and, see, I got this thing on me already. Gets all nice and mixed together. I'm gonna move it up a little bit and get it going more. Oh yeah, the food is good. I am having fun. I love baking. This is like my favorite thing to do. Okay, so now we're gonna start adding the flour. So we're gonna add the flour like a quarter of a cup at a time and let it get all mixed in there. There's this little opening here that I guess you're like supposed to be able to put it in there, but I'm not skilled enough to not like get it all over the counter. So as you're adding the extra flour, here, let me show you guys real quick. I want to show you what this actually looks like. Let me turn it this way. So you can see that the dough is sticky right now. And so as we're adding flour, the dough is going to get smoother. And like, we don't want to over mix it either. I'm going to have to make some room because I'm going to do some hand kneading. Hand knead the dough like the good old ancestors did. And we keep mixing. Oh, nice. Brown sugar cookies are good. I'm actually making some plant infused. That's the best way I can say it without getting in trouble. Cookies later. The Halloween kind, the sugar cookies. I have a couple readings I'm going to get done first, but I'm going to make some sugar cookies that are the special adult kinds that are not for children. If anybody's interested, they can email me. Betsy at fearlessintuition.net. Herbal cookies, medicinal cookies. Please. I'm a cancer patient. I'm going to find ways. And I'm going to do it the natural way. Okay. Anybody who's going through this world sober right now, superhero. I feel like it's a superhero. I'm going to move this down just a little so you guys can see when I do this. Move some stuff out of the way. Hey, babe, can you come help me move the mixer, please? He doesn't mind. He doesn't. Everybody's like, what the heck are you doing, lady? I'm going to keep the flower here close by. Yeah, like back in the corner or back over there so I can have room to knead. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, the camera is not on my face right now. This is going to be really fun for cleaning up for cards. Okay. So we are gonna just knead. We're adding extra flour. So you would fold over and then you kind of punch it down. Fold over, punch it down. I'm gonna add some more flour to the inside. And the dough, you like want it to be soft, but not so soft that it's like sticky and falling apart, but soft enough. Like you can add too much flour. You really can add way too much flour. I'm telling you, I'm gaining muscles by doing this. I'm getting healthier. This is my exercise. My doctors are like, are you doing any exercise? I'm like, yeah. Have you ever kneaded bread for 2 minutes? Have you ever done any bread kneading? That is exercise. And it's cardio too. It's not just I gotta take a break. Hold on. Whew. I even have the fan on me right now. I said that it's getting me stronger. I didn't say I was stronger yet. Okay. Cardio and resistance. I don't think I need it. They can see me fine. Plenty of light in here. And this is how all of our ancestors did it. They didn't use those silly mixing bowls. Oh yeah, and don't worry. I mean, like, it's harder to get the wrong consistency than it is to get the right consistency, you know? Like, you just want to make sure that it's soft, doughy. Like, see how it's like not even sticking to the counter at this point because I've got it all. Okay. All right, we're gonna leave that right there for a second. I'm gonna clean out this bowl real quick. So what you're gonna do after, sorry, I'm also catching my breath at the same time I'm doing this. So what you're gonna do after you get the dough kneaded to the right consistency, you're gonna knead it for about 2 to 5 minutes. And then you're going to want to add oil to a bowl, the inside of a bowl. Let me get it all dried out. I had another bowl, but I think it's in the dishwasher, so this is what we're using. You want to add a little olive oil or whatever. We use olive oil the most, olive oil or coconut oil. To the bowl. This is so the dough doesn't stick. And you'll put it in a little bowl, like a little ball like this. Pop it in the bowl. Make sure it has the oil covering all over it. Especially if you're in a dry climate, like we're in the desert. And so when we're wanting the bread to rise, you don't, if it like rises, but it crusts over on the top because the air is really dry, it'll stop rising. It like won't proof anymore. And so you want it to keep on being able to proof. So putting oil on it and putting it in an oil bowl stops it from sticking and allows it to continue to rise without that crust on top. Okay. So hopefully this works out for me and it will rise. I don't even know which one I'm using anymore. It will do the rising within 30 to 45 minutes. So you set it aside, you let it rise for 30 to 45 minutes, and now we can do cards. After I clean this up a little. Oh, wow. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think that, Melissa, I honestly don't think that you would. Like, I think that you're just overthinking it, if you will. I really do. I don't think that you can mess up the consistency. I mean, I guess you could probably over dry it but I mean, it really takes, yeah, it takes a lot, especially if you like follow it where you start with the 3 cups of flour and just add a little bit at a time so that you're not like overdoing it, you know? Just because the recipe says 4 to 5 cups of flour doesn't mean you're going to use all of it. It's just kind of to have it there for the kneading, and you really only use like maybe 3.5 to 4 cups when you're actually making it. Okay. Let's move the oil. Tarot time. I know you'll be fine. Let's see. Oh, hi, Lisa. Christine is here. Hi, guys. Oh, Jessalee, that's really nice. I'm just catching up on the chat for a minute, and then we're going to start some cards. Got to catch my breath a little. I'm kind of sweaty. So I will take questions. So, like, if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat if you would like. Again, like I said in the beginning, oh, good. I'm glad you just woke up and saw my face. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not charging for these this time. I'm not charging for the readings this time. But donations are always accepted. You can donate here, or you can donate at our PayPal. It's the Wildlove Paradise Foundation at gmail.com. I know that that's a really long email address. Let me put it in here again. Okay. That's the PayPal. So also great time to introduce the Wildlove Paradise Foundation that Henry actually has been dreaming about for years. So while I'm talking, you guys can go ahead and put questions, like you can add a question in the chat if you would like. I'm going to get to as many as I can. Don't try and, like, however you can. I'm going to get to some, and I probably won't get to everyone. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But the Wildlife Paradise Foundation, like, Henry's kind of been thinking it up for years, like even before he met me. And it's basically a foundation to help those, like, the world that we're in right now is really hard, right? And he and I know what it's like to have homelessness insecurity and to have food insecurities and to have all of those things. And so, coupled with bringing people awareness of the disease that I have, we decided to put together this foundation where we can help others to bridge the gap between having those kinds of insecurities in this world and being able to thrive. And there's a lot of opportunities that are coming with this foundation, and there's a lot of there's a lot of joy in it in a really big way. So we're really excited. And yeah, I'll also, on the description box, I'll put the website, because the Wildlove Paradise Foundation website is up and running. You can go look at Henry's hoodies that he's designed. There's also a way to donate there, and you can read our story and just kind of the story of what we're doing. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. Anybody want a reading, or am I just going to start reading just the energy of right now? I guess we could probably look and see, like I did the Libra solar eclipse reading this morning, and that we could do the energies for that. Let's see how, let's do that. Hold on once. Oh, it's 11:11. Look at that on the clock. All right. Grab my little chair. This is what we're going to do.